The truth is, Amazon FBA seems easy on the surface. You're buying items on the low and selling them high. But in reality, it's the execution and avoiding these mistakes is what's gonna separate you from being successful to being a struggle. And I want you to see this as pretty much my advice to my younger self when I first started Amazon FBA, because I mentioned these are my personal experience that I've learned along the way. And of course, these mistakes had cost me my own money, and I want you to save that money so that way you can be successful in this business. So if you can just take away, a couple of these advices, you will be on your way to a better start than I have. So let's get started. So let's go with number one, which is not doing a test buy when you're first purchasing inventory when you start your business. And I see this a lot, especially in social media, as you as a beginner want to compare yourself to someone that has been doing it for a couple years, and you kind of get into this rushing mode that you want to scale as fast as possible. And you want to avoid this as much as possible because comparison is the thief of joy, and getting yourself caught up comparing with someone that has a lot of sales, sometimes that sales margin that they're posting might not even be a good profit margin. So when you are beginning, you want to learn step by step on how to do it, not just rush into things just because you're obsessed with a certain number in terms of sales, because at the end of the day, profit is what really matters. And Amazon takes time to learn, especially once you start going into it. My first year in terms of the journey, I've learned so much in terms of like the ins and out. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you are looking at your leads or potential inventory that you're going to purchase. You want to test them out until you get really comfortable in that specific category that you're selling. Common test buy that I do when I first started was about 10 to 20 units. Whatever you're comfortable at, depending on your budget, it can vary for everyone. And it's just good practice overall, as if you are doing small test buys in different products, you're kind of spreading out your risk. You're not going all in one product, especially if you're new. You're not gonna be able to analyze keep a graph properly or a lead. Second mistakes that you should avoid as a beginner is panicking and lowering the price as soon as possible. Guys, this one is timeless, and if I had $1 for every time I see this happening when I'm looking at a Keep a chart, I would have enough money to go somewhere and travel right now, like I am doing here in Southeast Asia, which is amazing if you are able to start really scaling your business, having virtual assistants. You can just see what is possible really out there. But yeah, too many beginners are just like eager, and I get it, you're excited. The second your products check into Amazon, you want to see some sales, but in reality, sometimes you can't really control the markets out there, whether that someone has a bigger share of the buy box, whether they have a lot of inventory or reviews in their accounts. Second one is the price might have changed. Whatever price you had set expectations on, it might not be the same. The price could have lowered in terms of that, and more sellers had jumped into the listings. But at the end of the day, it is normal for some products to sell immediately and some are not. And your job as a beginner, you want to be as patient as possible. And one example, what I mean is not lowering your price when it first check in, because it might not be available for someone to purchase it immediately, and someone that's more experienced can set their price a lot higher and still be able to sell and get that buy box just because their item is available at the meantime. So those are the things you learn along the way, because some items can get transferred from one fulfillment center to another one. It doesn't mean it's available once it's checked into your account. So one tool that can help you check in terms of availability is going to be OS add-on. It's a free Google Chrome extension. Feel free to download it, but I'll show you pretty much all the stocks that are available and which seller is going to have the earliest availability and going to pretty much win the buy box during that time. So number 3 mistakes is not learning how to source different categories. And look, I was a victim of this because I was selling used books for the longest time, but the key that really unlocked it for my Amazon business to explode was exploring different categories. And it's fine to find and try different categories, because that's why you're gonna find your best sourcing techniques or the niche that you just enjoy in terms of sourcing in general. But yeah, for my journey, I started with used books, then I went to toys and baby products. I still didn't find success with that. But when I started, experimenting and exploring more categories out there, like video games, clothing, sports and outdoors equipment, makeup, grocery, that's when it really turned the aha moment for me, because I found those items a lot easier to source versus the previous ones I tried. So my advice to you as a beginner, if you're not finding a lot of success, is, go try different categories. Continue on exploring, and the same thing as like finding one brand. If you sell popular products like Nike, for example, you're gonna find a lot more competition just because it's so easy to find. There's, sales going on in terms of the Nike outlet, Nike websites. So in order to kind of battle that popularity or a lot of competition, there's other clothing brands out there, shoe brands that you might explore. So that's what I really mean, is like be able to diversify your inventory, start purchasing different items that can go along with a test buy if you're not sure if it's a new brand. So you kind of work all these things together, and eventually you're gonna find your own workflow, what works best for you in general. So next mistake avoid is to take care of your account health. Your Amazon seller account is very important, because if it's not in great standing, it can lead and potentially, have your account suspended. And if your account's suspended, you're not going to be able to sell on Amazon, which kind of defeats the purpose of you starting up your business. So you really want to make sure that you are not ignoring it or even like checking it day by day. And fortunately, when I was a beginner, I didn't run into any issues. I did after when it started to grow my business, just because, we're growing, right? It's bound to happen. But if you're a beginner, you want to make and build that habit of checking your health account continuously and every day, just because that's one of the most important things of running an Amazon business that not many people are talking about. You want to do this business for a long time and not just for 1 or 2 years or even shorter than that. And having a great health account or history with Amazon is gonna allow you to do that. And in the long run, you're actually gonna make more money, just because you're combining all these skills, experiences together. But your health account, again, I can't stress it enough, is super important. So if you haven't already, make sure you have your emails and notifications, subscribe to anything health related to Amazon, because if there's a IP complaint, it's basically, a complaint from maybe a brand that don't want you to sell on Amazon, or someone had returned an item and you need to respond in terms of the messages. These are the little details that can be handled quickly, and Amazon really wants you to make sure that you're on top of this. So sometimes they might have a 24-hour rule if you need to respond to a message. If not, they're gonna start dinging your account, right? Or just ignoring these like IP complaints and you not sending the proper documents or invoice or whatever thing that Amazon is asking. Some of these are really simple. Again, yeah, it might be a pain in the butt to kind of take care of this stuff while you're selling. I get it, you're juggling a lot, but once you really get the process down of getting yourself familiar with taking care of the health account and checking every day, it just makes your life easier. So definitely don't skip on checking your health account every single day. So next mistake to avoid is failing to adapt regarding market changes. Back in 2020/2021, we had the big break going on in terms of our lives. Pools and chlorines were a big popularity just because everyone wanted to be outside. So as a result, there was a shortage of it. And this was a golden era for resellers. They pretty much bought out all the supplies. Companies weren't making it. So resellers were really having the best time of their lives. And even beginners that did not know anything about keep a chart or analyzing proper deals, we can make easy money just as long as they can get their hands onto these chlorines and pools. So as a result, the people that were in it for the quick buck did not make it to the next season because they did not build the proper foundation, whether that's how to analyze a lead or how to source them properly without the crazy demand going on. They pretty much vanished. You need to start learning how to adapt in terms of the market, and if you really want to be successful year by year. So here are a couple tips on how you can possibly stay on top of the different trends going on. First one is, you can be active in different social media. Like this past summer, the Stanley Cups were really popular just because it was going viral on TikTok. So if you were able to identify and spot that trend beforehand, or even right in the middle of it, you might have taken advantage of what's going on with the Stanley Cups. Also, the popularity of the Lululemon bags, they were going viral in different social media as well. So these are the little aspects, if you are spending time on social media as well, being able to see the trends going on or just what's popular in general. And not just in terms of inventory as well, is you also have to keep up in terms of Amazon's internal policy changes. This past season, they had changed a lot in terms of their shipment, right? They're a lot more stricter now versus where it was before. So if you're missing, 1 or 2 inventories, that can really affect your account in general as well. But as long as you stay on top of the market, making sure that your business constantly grows and you are learning as a person in general, you should have no problem succeeding in this business. So the next one might be a common thing, is pretty much, you hear everyone says it, but it's never been true, especially in terms of my own experience, is the ability to network. And listen, you don't have to be a robot in terms of this approach where you're hitting up every single person that has Amazon seller related to them. And it could be one or two person that you really vibe with, and maybe you had stumbled in their account, or maybe if you go to one of these conferences, that's how I met a lot of my friends now, and travel with one of them, Donald. Don't force it, but you also want to make sure that you put yourself out there at the same time. And if you didn't know, one of my favorite YouTuber is Mr. Beast. He's the most popular YouTuber currently the present. He has over 200 million subscribers, but he wasn't where he is now before, because he started by himself, but where he really started to go crazy in terms of his account getting big was when he started really networking with 3 to 4 people, and they had a little mastermind where they were pretty much talking every single day for 8-10 hours, and all they were doing is pretty much talking YouTube. So if you can take that practice that Mr. Beast did in terms of your little Amazon mastermind, and I did this with a couple people, it really helped me unlock a new skill and knowledge in terms of Amazon business in general. Because if you think about it, if you were doing it yourself, you can make mistakes, right? And you can only learn from your own mistakes. But imagine if you had 3 or 4 people making different mistakes and they tell you about it. Now you are multiplying the lessons that you're learning. Instead of one person, you're learning mistakes from 4 or 3 other people. So if you really add all those up throughout, just 1 year or even a couple months, you can get yourself so far in terms of that, versus if you were just doing the whole thing by yourself. And you also get to take advantage of each person's unique intelligence. We have one person in our group that is really good doing FBM. He pretty much does FBM all the time, and I rarely do FBM. So if I have any questions regarding FBM, he's the go-to guy that I ask. And the relation is pretty much vice versa. If they have a question that I am comfortable or have a good grasp of knowledge, they can come to me and ask, and pretty much help each other at that point. So that relationship you build is pretty much a nucleus that can grow from where it was before, and you kind of make it to wherever you guys at, depending on the culture and the friendships that you make in the long terms, just having that little mastermind group. Next mistake is you are giving up way too easily. Grant Cardone famously has the 10x attitude, which pretty much anything you put an effort to, do it 10 times as much, and you're gonna get the results that you've been wanting. So this is why the 10x rule by Grant Cardone is so important, because if you had set your expectation that it's gonna be 10 times harder, then guess what? Anything you do, you're gonna have the mentality that you won't be giving up as easily. Because this Amazon journey, just as in life, you're gonna run into obstacles and roadblocks all the time, and it's going to be one of those times that you are going to be least expecting it. Ryan Holiday famously wrote a book called The Obstacle is the Way, because if you get over the problem and you pass through that, it's just gonna make everything a lot easier. It makes you stronger. And yes, I get it. It can be overwhelming sometimes, and it happened to me, especially the first few months where I went full-time in terms of Amazon FBA. I pretty much quit my job, and I really wanted this to work out, but at the time, there was just a lot of pressure that I was putting on myself. So it's good to kind of sometimes, take a step back and reflect, especially if you might not be hitting the numbers that you had expected or the profit that you might have making, but that is fine. The purpose of this is to not just give up. Each month is a new month, right? You go from a hero to a 0. If you're having a good month, guess what? The next month you're gonna start over and do it again. So you can't really get attached into having a bad month. Same thing with having a good month, right? It all starts over again. Continue on moving forward, be perseverance. Be patient at the same time, and just having that growth mindset that you're gonna improve time and time again. Because if you really zoom out 4 or 5 years from now, like whatever you're stressing out now does not really matter at the end of the day, because it's gonna get wiped out from just the time that it's gonna pass through. So if you guys wanna see more tips on what to do as a beginner, check this video right here. Thank you so much. Catch you in the next one.